Well, we want to bring in our reporter who's actually on the scene in South Carolina, Myra Ruiz. Myra, I know you've been out there all morning. Can you just sort of give us a sense of kind of where you are in Greenville? I mean, where exactly is this where Hayden Panettiere was found?
You know, it's not far from the central part of downtown Greenville, but this is an area that is kind of an up and coming, revitalized area that used to be the site of a mill. So it's kind of swanky. There's a mixture of like the high-end apartments there, in addition to some a restaurant, a performance venue, and an indoor rock climbing location. But basically, this is where authorities responded yesterday afternoon, just before 2 o'clock. Greenville police were called here about an unresponsive woman who clearly was later identified as Hayden Panettiere. Now, we know she has a couple of connections to Greenville, one more current. Her co-star from the show Nashville, Charles Esten, who played Deacon Claiborne, was performing at the Foundry, which is a live music performance venue here at the Judson Mill District, which is also where the apartment complex is located. Now, he was here on Friday. And then, of course, we know that her on-again, off-again boyfriend, Brian Hickerson, at some point lived in Greenville. Now, we're trying to confirm with investigators that it was Brian Hickerson who actually called 911. Now, the coroner's office here, the Greenville County Coroner's Office, is still waiting on results of an autopsy. They expect to have that sometime around lunchtime. But our team at our station was able to get a hold of the Broadcastify call, which is the communication between first responders and the dispatch center here. And words like cardiac arrest and overdose came up during that correspondence. So that's something that the coroner's report or the autopsy will confirm a little bit later on. But, you know, a lot of people here very surprised. In fact, the property manager, it's still a very sensitive issue. They kicked us off the property, so now we're across the street. But, you know, I can only imagine how busy this was yesterday afternoon. It is a popular area away from the downtown, central downtown part of Greenville, but definitely an up and coming area that involves residential and commercial property as well. But a lot of people have questions about what caused her death. And unfortunately, we know she has been had struggles with alcohol, opioids, postpartum depression. She's been very open about that, and also very open about her troubled relationship with Brian Hickerson, who, again, at some point lived here in Greenville. He went to the University of South Carolina as well. Yeah. But, you know, waiting to confirm that he was here. He was the one with her. And if he is also the one who called 911.
And Myra, I know for you've been out there all morning. It looks like police are not still there. Have they sort of cleared the scene and allowed residents to go back inside? What are you seeing in terms of police presence actually still there on the scene at this apartment complex where the actress Hayden Panettiere was found dead yesterday?
A little earlier this morning, there was a patrol car that drove by, but most of the focus now is on the postpartum investigation. So, you know, with the coroner's office, you know, they're the ones who are going to be finishing up the investigation, giving a cause and manner of death. But again, we are hearing from the Broadcastify recordings that they used the words cardiac arrest and overdose when that call came in, but we're still waiting to confirm, pending the results of the autopsy, what exactly caused her to die. And we do know her birthday was 5 days away, so she died 5 days before she was set to turn 37.
Yes, exactly right. It's terrible news. So Myra Ruiz with our Fox Carolina News, which is the Fox affiliate down there in Greenville. If I can just ask you one more thing, because I just wanted to focus on that. It's called Broadcastify.com, which captures calls and the emergency calls, the 911 calls that go out between, you know, the emergency responders when you call 911. So a lot of the information that People Magazine is getting and that TMZ is getting, it's coming from that call. And on that call is where you can hear them sort of start to speculate about what's happening. And I guess that's why they thought pretty early on that no matter who made this call, it didn't appear that this was foul play. Is that right? I mean, it's really a lot of the information that we're getting, and that People Magazine, TMZ, Fox Carolina, down where you are, that's where a lot of this information is coming from. Can you talk us through that just again real quick?
Yes, basically, Broadcastify, as you mentioned, it's a site that is able to capture those calls that happen between first responders and the dispatch center. So during that call, EMS, which did perform some medical treatments at the scene, did use the words cardiac arrest and overdose in that communication with dispatchers. So, I know that. We can't really say exactly what caused her to die until the results of the autopsy come in. But I'm sure there is a lot of speculation, especially given her past struggles as well. So, it's a very sad situation. And of course, people are waiting to learn for sure what caused her to die.
All right. Fox Carolina's reporter Myra Ruiz reporting for us here in New York. Myra, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate your reporting this morning and the thorough explanations on so many of those issues. Best of luck to you. And what you said there, very important, where it sounds like there is an autopsy.
Yes.
And it sounds like sometimes things happen a little faster in some of those smaller towns, and they become public a little bit quicker.
So by lunchtime, that's a pretty quick turnaround.
It's possible that we will have some indication about the, whatever, if there is anything to be found from that in terms of the possibility of an overdose, what it means for the cardiac arrest, what it means for the next phase of the investigation.
What I thought was interesting when they said cardiac arrest during that call is that her brother died in 2023, I believe, due to an undiagnosed heart condition.
Okay.
And she talks about in her memoir and on the podcast that she's been on that really hit her very hard. She was very close with her brother. So it'll be interesting to see, was it in fact an overdose? Was it a cardiac arrest because of a heart condition? A lot of people have a lot of answers. I know a lot of people online are really hoping that it wasn't an overdose because she had overcome so much. In fact, I think it was both Viola and Bethany Joy Lenz who commented in their social media posts saying, like, she had just, she was making waves. She was going back to a good life, and it would be very sad.
Absolutely right. Such a beloved actress, and really was in the public spotlight from the time that she was very young.
11 months old, I read.
11 months old in some of those commercials. She was a part of a soap opera. And here we have to report the death of Hayden Panettiere, 36 years old, found unresponsive Sunday. It was an apartment complex down in Greenville, South Carolina. We just had that live report from our reporter with our affiliate down there at Fox Carolina, Myra Ruiz, who told us that it looks like an autopsy is being performed right now, and possibly within the next hour and a half, we could have the results of that and some of that early reporting that maybe it's an overdose, maybe it's something different. We'll see.